Hello there people on the interwebs, this is your... Hold on a sec. 25th favorite dinosaur here. If this is your first time coming across this channel then welcome and I hope you enjoy the content. Now normally I focus on making WIS edits and procrastinating. But today's different as today's the day where I'll be covering a topic in the form of a full-length video, that topic being the exact scaling of the mobile game Jurassic World! Like and subscribe if you want, but right now let's get into it. To start off I'll be going over the versus attack potency and durability, as I feel like that's what you guys would want the most. Now obviously the verse has very casual wall to small building level feats as a baseline, whether that being from statements or visual showings. But surprisingly to some people, this is not actually where the verse caps off. The first example of this coming from the apex Gorga treebacks, who within its description is stated to lower the temperature around the map by 10 degrees by simply spawning in. Assuming that by map it just means the range at which you can dart, this would give Gorga treebacks a range of about 200 meters. And assuming that this ability reaches high enough to where the temperature drops by 1 degree, would mean that Gorga treebacks can affect about 5,916,750 kilograms of air. So now using the specific heat capacity of air, this feat would come up to around 14.21 tons of TNT, or around the energy required to destroy a city block. Mind you that this feat is done quite casually, as it's merely a passive thing that occurs off of its own existence. It's pure aura. While by itself this seems like a far-fetched assumption, there is consistency, as it is shown in both the ceratopsians and sauropods, who are able to cause shock waves by simply stomping the ground, which also gets to this destructive level. This seems like quite the improvement to what we had before. However, we can still get higher. This mainly derives from moves such as Roar, which is used by Mortem Rex. And as the name implies, it damages an enemy through the strength of the sound wave. While it normally takes around 200 decibels to cause fatal damage, this one is clearly stronger than that, as it damages creatures much tougher than the average person. So to get an exact number we'd need to find the difference between the two. Using Plateosaurus as a baseline, we can see that there is a difference of about 354,813.4 times. Now using the equation dB2 equals dB1 plus 10 times log the intensity ratio, where the intensity ratio is just our difference in strength. Now by simply replacing the values we come with an increase of about 55.5 decibels. We then just have to put our value into this calculator, which translates into 3.5481 times 10 to the 13 power watts per meter squared, or joules per second. Considering the attack lasts for 0.77 seconds, this means Mortem Rex can output around 6.5 kilotons of TNT, which is enough power to level a town. Okay, now I know what you're going to say. This is a big jump compared to what we had before, but there is consistency. This being found in a move belonging to the hybrid Titanoder, who can use the move Earth-Shaking Stomp, which, as the name implies, should shake the earth in this context most likely meaning ground or land, with enough force to be felt, with the move itself being stated to be the direct cause, meaning it should scale to the total seismic energy, which, depending on whether you believe that this applies to at least a magnitude 3 or up to magnitude 5, would mean this attack would range anywhere from town to even city level in power. There are even higher ends we can get with this, but I'll get to them towards the end of the video. So with the attack potency covered, we can now move on to the versus speed. Starting off, we can see that there are very casual superhuman speed feats coming from physical showings, but as a higher end subsonic to supersonic can be argued. This mainly comes from the description for Apatosaurus, where it's stated that it can swing its tail fast enough to break the sound barrier. And before anyone says that this is never shown in game, the description itself states that this attack would only rebuke an opponent, meaning that it wouldn't be as useful towards defending itself. Plus stronger and faster sauropods are shown to use this sort of strike, meaning they should scale. Along with this, hadrosaurs are able to form a Mach cone with their attacks, further solidifying this tier of speed. This should apply to their combat and reaction speed, as they typically have to be faster than their opponents in order to land a hit first, though speed might not be as much of a factor, as I'll explain soon. Now we've covered both attack potency and speed. So I guess if that's what you wanted, you can click off. Okay, now for those of you that wanted to kill time, we can now move on to physical strength showings. The verse should be anywhere from average human to class 10 based on statements and how you interpret certain feats. Wow, that was shorter than I thought. But now on to the topic I'm most excited for. Their hacks and abilities. With their main form of hacks coming from their moves having a target lock, meaning they will strike an opponent regardless. If they are within their attack range and can pull an attack off, this being shown through creatures getting tagged even if they have effects such as dodge and invisibility, yes that exists. Yet can't at all when stunned or dazed. Some attacks can even target entire groups or just those with a specific trait. As for the abilities themselves, they're normally grant either a buff or debuff on the respective target, with most moves simply having a combination of these. Or maybe more. While these are some examples, I'll more than likely go into further detail when discussing specific creatures. Now I think I've covered everything. So what now? Oh right, the high ends. So now higher ends for the verse come from how you wish to interpret two of the previous statements. First, looking back at the Gorga Treeback's description, since the game is tied to Google Maps, the map being affected could translate to the apex having a global range with its passive aura. Such a feat would translate anywhere from country to even continental level depending on whether you think this change applies to everything including oceans. I'm sure you can guess what other statement I'm gonna use. Earth-shaking storm. But yeah, if you want to use a high-end interpretation, this would also get into those country to continental range. Oh, and for speed the hybrid Megalosuchus is stated as being lightning quick, so do with that as you wish. Well, I think I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to go over, so as a quick recap. Low to mid tiers in general should get anywhere from small building to multi-city block level as a baseline, with the pinnacle of the verse reaching those town to even city level ranges. And with a generous high ball the verse can reach into those country to continental levels of power. Speed is similar with creatures having at least superhuman speed, with subsonic to supersonic for a higher estimate, and potentially even reaching those lighting timing levels. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed the video and hopefully I can continue to make more of these in the future. So remember to drink water and I hope you all have a good day. Until next time viewers, goodbye.